Hello boys and girls, my name is Miss Randall, and today's lesson we're going to be going over fractions. Now we've studied a little bit about fractions before, but we're going to review. Now fraction, there are two definitions. One is it is a number usually expressed in the form of AB. I've listed some examples. Here we have 3/4, 1/2, 1/4, 3/3, 5/5, and 1/1. We also have another definition. It's a ratio of algebraic quantities similarly expressed. And now we're going to have our lesson.
Hello boys and girls, my name is Mr. Diaz, and I'm going to show you today fractions that equal 1. Well, first of all, a quick review over fractions. The top part of a fraction is known as the numerator. That represents the number of shaded parts of a whole. The bottom part number of a fraction is called the denominator. That represents the total number of pieces in the whole. For example, here we have a circle, and since the circle is not cut into any parts, the denominator will be known as 1, since it's one part. Well, since the whole circle is not cut yet, also there's no pieces of the circle, just one piece, that would be known as 1 also for the numerator. So here we have a fraction 1/1, which equals 1, since we have one piece of a circle. Now I'm going to cut the circle into two pieces down the middle. So now we have two equal halves of a circle. So since there's two pieces of a circle, the denominator will be 2 on each side. Remember, the 2 represents the two parts of the whole. And since each part of the whole is only one piece, the numerator will be 1 on each side. So here for this fraction we have 1/2, 1/2. Combined together, these pieces make one whole. Now I'm going to split the circle down the middle again. Now there are 4 pieces of the circle. So for the denominator, I'm going to put 4 for each piece of the circle. As you can see, the 4 pieces are not represented by this denominator. Now each piece of the circle is one piece. I'm going to put the 1 over each. But let's say I shade in 3 parts of the circle. There's 3 parts of the circle not highlighted. So those 3 parts will be known as 3 over the 4 pieces. Now I'm going to cut the circle into 8 parts. And remember, the denominator is the number of parts on the circle, so there's 8 equal pieces. Now I'm going to shade in exactly 4 of the pieces. So since the numerator equals the number of shaded parts, and there's 4 shaded parts, this will be known as 4/8. Remember, the 4 equals the number of shaded parts, and the 8 represents the number of pieces on the whole total. And that's how we do basic fractions.
Okay. Hi boys and girls. Now again we're going to show you some examples of how we have one whole and how many parts we would need to make up one whole. So let's begin. Now here we see one whole. Now if I wanted to use the red pieces, how many pieces would we need to make up one whole? Okay, well let's see. We put it on top. We have 1/2 here, 1/2 here. So we know that 2 halves equal 1 whole. Now let's try again. Now we're going to go into using 1/3. How many 1/3 would we need to make one whole? Okay, well let's see. So far we have 2. Now we have 3. So we know that 3/3 equal 1 whole. again, we have green triangles now that we're going to use. Now these green triangles will equal 1/6. So let's see. How many do you think we need to make up one whole? So far we have 3, 4, 5, and 6. So now we can see that 6, 6 make up one whole. Now boys and girls, an easy way to remember this is that when you have the same number on top, which is your numerator, and you have the same number on the bottom, which is your denominator, we know that that makes up one whole.
Hello students, my name is Ms. Gurrola, and I'm going to be going over some fractions, but this time we're going to be using the rectangle. So right here we have one whole rectangle, which is 1/1, which equals a whole. And to make sure we have a whole, I'm going to shade it. Let's see. Okay, so having it shaded, this is 1. I didn't divide anything, so we have 1/1, which is 1. Now here we have the rectangle split in twos. So we have 2 pieces, which make 1. And in order for us to get the whole, we're going to shade it. If I were to leave it like that, it would be 1/2. But I'm going to have both of them shaded in, and that equals 2/2, which is 1. Now here we have it in 2/3. We're going to shade this. That would be 1/3. But I'm going to have them all shaded because I want it to be a whole. So there we go. We have 3/3, which equals 1. And we're going to the next one, which is fourths. We're going to have this shaded in, which equals 1/4. 2, which is 2/4, which is half. Then we have 3. And here we have the 4 shaded, which equals 4/4, which equals 1. Now for this last example, I have it split into 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we want a whole, so again, we're going to shade them in. So now I have the 5 pieces, 5 denominator 5, which equals 1. So now we have whole. So all these are similar because they're all shaded, so they're all 1. They're all a whole, like this one.